This video was created by AI.
Do you enjoy special effects in movies? Do you like when CGI brings to life things that could never exist in the real world, like galaxies colliding, dragons flying, or superheroes saving the day? Now think about this. Does that add to your experience, or does it take something away? Because here's the truth. Artists have always used tools to expand what's possible. Michelangelo had marble. Shakespeare had the printing press. Film directors today have green screens and visual effects. And Leonardo da Vinci? He wasn't just a painter. He was an engineer, a scientist, an anatomist, a polymath who used every tool he could to capture the mysteries of the world. So when I use AI in my videos, it's not a gimmick. It's part of that same lineage, a way to tell stories that can't be told any other way. When people say AI slop, they're not wrong to be skeptical. Most of what earns that label takes less than 5 minutes to make. One prompt, maybe even a prompt written by another AI, with no real story, no depth, no effort. It's disposable content, designed to flood your feed, not move your soul, and it usually lasts about 8 seconds long or longer clips sewn together. But that's not what I do here. On the Renaissance Spirit, every AI-generated scene is just one part of a much larger whole, one brushstroke in a much bigger canvas. The difference is intentionality and story. All of my videos are stories in some form or another. My process begins with a concept or a question, then script writing. I use AI for review and editing, and I ask it a final question, which I doubt any AI slop video creator does. Does this script increase the commons and public discourse? Because if it doesn't, what's really the point? If you've heard my channel's outro before, you know that my channel, The Renaissance Spirit, is trying to be a voice of light in the dark times we face ourselves in, be it socially, culturally, economically, politically, spiritually. There's so many things going on now, I'd be doing you a disservice not to connect the dots and share the patterns and what we can do as individuals and as a society to wake up, stand up, and protect ours and our offspring's future. We owe them that. We owe it to ourselves. And we owe it to the ancestors who fought and died so that we could live better, braver lives. A new renaissance. I then decide for every video on the method, traditional footage, narration, animation, or AI, best serves the story. Editing, layering, music composition, all of that takes time. And here's the irony. My AI-driven videos usually take longer to make than my faceless explainer videos. Because every AI element has to be refined, reshaped, and harmonized with the larger narrative, and often done over and over again to get the results right. AI isn't my shortcut. It's my chisel. It's the way I carve ideas into form when no camera, no budget, and no orchestra could do it for me. Sometimes I use AI simply as extra B-roll to keep pacing alive. Sometimes I use it to create surreal, avant-garde imagery, like in my EDM fusion music video, I'll Find My Way, where Renaissance paintings breathe and ships sail past disco ball planets. Sometimes it's a device, like when an AI avatar of myself debated and rebuked an AI version of Leni Riefenstahl in my Through the Lens trilogy on propaganda. It's more than a warning, it's a full story that doesn't hold back. And sometimes it becomes a whole world, like my Curia Chronicles, where Cicero and Mercury return as voices of conscience in stories about ethics, grief, and human dignity. That isn't slop. That's storytelling, using every tool available to ask questions we can't ignore. Because here's the danger. If we reduce all AI art to slop, we risk missing the bigger truth. These tools are going to shape the stories of our future, whether for freedom or for control. I use AI not to escape that reality, but to confront it, to show what's possible, and to warn about what's dangerous. Propaganda, identity, memory, mortality. These aren't 5-minute prompts. They are the oldest questions of civilization, and AI is simply one of the new instruments I use to wrestle with them. Now, I haven't addressed any of the real concerns of AI, its potential threats if it ever becomes sentient, its environmental costs, and the economic wealth disparities it creates, but I'm using the tools and the mediums at my disposal, and I hope the message is worth the price. Is AI fair to the painter, or musician, or non-digital creator? No. Will some tools, trades, knowledge, and ways of experiencing the world be lost to history? Potentially, yes. As has always happened before and will do so again. I'm not saying it's right or fair, I'm saying I doubt we'll be able to put this genie back in the bottle. But here's something to think about. Imagine if Leonardo da Vinci had access to AI. What wondrous digital creations might he have achieved? We live in a world where anyone with a computer, smartphone, and an internet connection can ask for their vision, their dream, their ideas to life, even if it's just on a screen. We truly are in a new renaissance, if we have the courage to pursue it with reason and compassion for all of us. If this is resonating, then you're part of something rare. You're not a bystander. You're someone who still believes art should ask real questions. So subscribe, take our Renaissance quiz, and share this with one thoughtful friend. Because if we don't tell better stories with these tools, someone else will tell worse ones. Want to see it in action? I released my first 360 video last night. Let me know what you think. If you've never watched a 360 video on YouTube before, just add 360 to your search term in Google. When you play the video on your device, you can move the screen around. It's really cool and worth checking out. In the video, I invite you to take a walk with me through the Shadyside neighborhood of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on a crisp October afternoon, before the leaves have fallen, and I check in, America. We've been through a lot recently. How are you feeling? So no, my work is not AI slop. It is experimentation. It is slow-cooked, deliberate, and stitched together from history, philosophy, music, and imagination. If you want to see what I mean, watch I'll Find My Way Through the Lens 3 or my Curia Chronicles. Those are worlds no one person could build without help. And in my case, AI is the brush that lets me paint them. Thank you for watching. You've just joined the Renaissance Spirit, a channel dedicated to history, politics, culture, religion, and the lessons of civilization, from ancient Rome to modern America. We believe the Renaissance isn't over. It's waiting inside anyone who chooses curiosity, courage, and conscience. The question isn't whether AI belongs in art. The question is whether we will use it with care, conscience, and purpose. Subscribe, take the quiz, live the Renaissance spirit. Because if history is collapsing in real time, someone has to narrate the fall and plant the seeds of what comes after.